Very good.
Hello and welcome to the 2020-2021 Career Day at Dilworth Elementary. My name is Molly Arledge and I'm the assistant principal here at Dilworth on the Sedgefield campus. And I have the privilege today to introduce our keynote speaker, Mrs. Joy Simon. Mrs. Simon is the founding program director of Misty Meadows Mighty Writers program in Waxhaw, North Carolina, my hometown, and has been there for 28 years. She was born and raised in Charlotte, where she developed her background in education, as well as veterinary and horsemanship. Her special bond with the riders and unending enthusiasm is apparent to all of those around her. Joy continues to be the driving force in the creativity and therapeutic results of Misty Meadows Mighty Riders program. Their mission is to improve the lives of children with special needs through creative and effective therapeutic horseback riding. Their belief is that through horses, our riders experience the unique bonds of human-horse connections. Mighty Riders has won multiple awards, and in 2016, the founder Harry Swimmer and the Mighty Riders was selected as a top 10 finalist for CNN's Hero of the Year award. So congratulations for that. Joy, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. You know, we're so excited to have you and hear from you today.
Well,
so
thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the program and kind of what you do.
Sure. So the program, of course, started basically in 1994 when Harry and I started going back to school to get educated, direct that specifically for this type of program. Since that date, as you said, we have done some pretty amazing things. We've had children that never spoke start speaking. We've had children that could not sit up actually by themselves now can sit up on the horse by themselves. So it's an incredibly neat type of program. We call it work, but it's a lot of fun. So it's hard to say that it's a job. But you do have to go to school. You do need to read. You do need to learn your math skills because there's all of that involved in any walk that you do during the day. So for instance, with my horses, when I bring them in, I have to calculate how to keep them healthy with their food, with their diet, well, not diet, their riding exercises to make sure we have the right match. These horses are incredible. They have a sixth sense. And I think I just help them find the passageway to it. The kids are in some sort of a therapy, but don't realize it. They're actually having fun and learning a riding skill. So many of our kids, their goal is to get further and further along independently. So that's what we do. We tailor our lesson plans to the individual needs.
That is so wonderful. What a gift you have. About how many students would you say are in your program?
So there are before COVID, we had 75 per week. Right now we're about 25%, and that is due to the social distancing, wearing masks. A lot of these children have sensory issues, which means they don't like to touch certain textures or don't like for you to touch them. So we have a lot of little things dealing with that. So those children we're kind of waiting back on so that they do have the help they need to support them. The children that we're doing now have come up the ranks and are riding basically by themselves. Our classes used to be 6 riders a class. Now we're down to 2 riders a class. So you can see where we get our 25% from that 100%.
Sure. Well, I know the children that are still coming are enjoying every moment of the work that you're doing.
And we miss all of them. We did a food drive recently, Valentine's Day, just so that they see that they too can help a community. Because they are also a special need situation, they too have something to offer.
Wonderful. And about how old do you think, what is the age range of the students that visit your program?
Well, that's tough because it's very hard to say bye. So it's really we start roughly around the age 5, depending on the disability. you have to be very careful physically because you can pop their hips. So you have to make sure that you're knowledgeable enough with their anatomy, that you can fit them with the right horse. So 4 or 5 is the earliest that we like to start them. I have children that are now in their 30s that just have no other opportunities out there. So we continue to ride those. And they're a small group. We do try to get our riders to go past this and to go on to different opportunities, different sports, different situations. We've had 2 children go from our riding lessons to becoming competition riders, so with regular kids. So that's been a really bonus for us too, to see that, you know, it really does work. These were 2 that were more on the anxiety end versus physical end, but here we say, if you can make the day, you've gained an inch.
That is so amazing. Wow. And I did want to ask the question, one of our students wanted to know, what schooling did you need to get to where you are today for your job?
So for me, it was 4 years of college, because I did teach kindergarten through 3rd grade for a short period of time. Then I had my first child, which took me home, which was wonderful. After my second child was born and back in school, I became interested. I had worked with 4-H throughout my lifetime. So I wanted to get back in voluntary work, something around children with needs. I went to the 4-H. They told me about therapeutic riding, which just suited me. So I got in touch with a friend of mine who had just retired and was looking for a second career. So we launched it off, and the history, you know, we've just kept going. After college, we did go to school in Pennsylvania, actually to Penn State, which was fun, to get our certification specifically in therapeutic riding. Those are specific classes. Colleges, most colleges now are actually introducing that field because it's become a big up and coming field. So it could change between now and then, but I'm thinking the change will be more education, because you need to know more about the anatomy of the body, the physical end of both horse and person, so that you can match them correctly. What we want to do here is accommodate you with a safe ride. So if we can't do that safely, we'll send you elsewhere.
And this just makes me wonder, did you have a love, you obviously had a love for children because you were a school teacher, and where did the love for horses come in your life? Where did that part?
My mother was a rider, more pleasure than anything. She grew up in Atlanta on a farm, and she rode when she was pregnant with me, and she says, "You got it through me," which I do believe. My father also was a rider, so I got it from both ends. I'm from a siblings of 5 of us. So you learn to get along with the younger and the older, and just the joy of watching someone achieve something there's no money that can match that.
Well, I just think that's amazing. You obviously have a gift for the love of children and for horses, and then every day you're able to use both of your gifts.
Absolutely.
You know, to do.
Absolutely. And we do have to continually go back to school. It's much like teachers. You know, you do go and re-educate for better opportunities, for better situations for the kids, better horses, that type of thing.
So it just sounds like you're researching and making sure you have, you know, the best for the children.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
It's all about the kids. And as I tell the parents, sorry, you're the 3rd one. It's the kids, horses, and then you. So that's kind of the way it is here.
I love it. Well, one of our students asked, do you work with horses, which you obviously do, or race horses? He kind of wanted to know about if there were any race horses on the farm.
Race horses don't work for us because they move too fast. We have people that walk beside the horses, which we call sidewalk walkers. Many of our volunteers are my age and older, so we have to be careful not to overextend their physical activity as well. Race horses are very keyed up. They're ready to hit the road and go. Our kids are just starting to learn either walk themselves, so they need that swing gait of the horse, um, or it's a mental anxiety issue where they just need to kind of be settled on the horse, and then they eventually can, yeah, you can become a race uh, jockey if you would like, but it's going to take some time. I've been riding for over 35 years, so, and I'm still certainly not at the top of the heap. So it does take a lot of ability as well as self-esteem.
That is wonderful. Well, our last question, kind of what I was thinking about. Yesterday, we were able to kind of see one of your horses. Can you just maybe talk about a few, or how many horses are, on the farm, and kind of talk a little bit more about the horses for a minute?
Sure. So we share the farm with the owner's daughter who boards horses. I'm not sure how many she has because we're in two separate barns. But for the Mighty Riders, we have 18 horses, 2 of which are totally retired. Now, calling them retired, we do bring them out and let the children brush them in the spring. Sometimes we let them paint on their barrels. So we use all of them, but the 2 that are retired are not ridden, but the rest of them are. The horse Sundance that you saw yesterday was somewhat of a rescue. So he's very appreciative to anything we do for him, as you saw yesterday. He's a very loving horse. You have to make sure the temperament of the horse fits the child. So I may look at 10 horses and bring home 1 to try. Many times that one I bring home to try doesn't work. So we have to start all over again. So it's an ongoing thing where you want to make sure the child and the horse match.
That is amazing. Well, Joy, it has been a joy to talk to you today. Thank you so much. We hope that in the future we would get to see you in person, and kind of maybe at another career day have you back. The children and the teachers, and just on behalf of our whole entire staff, we just really appreciate all you're doing for kids and sharing your career and your gifts with us. And we hope that one day we'll be able to meet in person. So thank you so much.
And any visit, come out and see us. We have a website, so please look it up and check us out.
Yeah, share that website with us real quick so the children.
Mighty Riders, and we spell mighty incorrectly, and that was on purpose. So it's spelled Mitey Riders.com or .org. I'm not sure which. We
That's
just
good.
switched over. So
we'll make sure they get it.
Yes, wonderful. Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That was very nice of you to include us.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Their physical or mental special needs. So we don't call them disabilities anymore because everybody has something special about them. And these children just are a little more heightened than the rest of us. My education came from the University of Tampa. I went to 4 years of college and became a K-3 teacher. I loved children all my life, and I've also loved animals. So I had horses growing up, very fortunate, and found that the horses really helped me with my anxiety and my stress level. So I wanted to see about incorporating it for other people and children, which I found a gentleman who was a friend of mine who also was interested in a second career. He had retired. So we began the Mighty Rider program, and we don't spell mighty the correct way. So we spell it Mitey, and that just specifies our particular program. It gives us our name. So we did that in 1994, and 28 years later, we're still up and running and doing a great job. We are a premier center, which means we are above and beyond the bylaws and the safety requirements that are done for this program. We work with children that have wheelchairs, that don't have use of their legs. We work with children that have trouble sitting up. We work with children that don't like to talk or have a lot of anxiety. We find that the horses actually soothe them. And the way their gait is when they walk, it stimulates all their body parts, like your legs and your muscles and your eyes and breathing. So, in order to get in this kind of fun career, you've got to finish high school. You've got to know your math. Why in the world math? Well, to take care of horses, you have to be able to measure their food and calculate their weight and do things along the math line with the veterinarian that you have for your horses. Also, reading is very, very important because you have to read about the children. What do we do to make them feel better, to help them improve their life skills? It can be anything from learning how to button a shirt to actually learning writing skills. And hopefully I'm going to take the computer and walk out into our arena, and my assistant is going to show you a little bit of the things that we do to train our horses. We have them at an older age. Usually this is their second career. Many horses are in competition all their life and have to be in work mode all the time. We like them to relax here and just enjoy having another hand together with them. So let me see if she's ready, and feel free to ask me any questions at any time. So let's see how well this works. Well, actually, this is our office. You can see, this is where all the administration work is done, the paperwork. Remember, I said you really got to know how to read. So you have to be able to go through the paperwork, put it down where it belongs. And so we can accommodate them the way we should. Now I'm going to try to turn, and here is our indoor arena. It's kind of hard to see. But this is where we do most of our work, is inside here. That way, if the weather is bad, we can still have program. But we have to make sure the horses are secure and the children are secure with all the outside noises. So now I'm going to introduce you to a horse named Sundance, who is one of our great horses. Let me see if I to see. And
Joy, you're kind of going in and out. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. We can go in the ring with him too. Right now, what my helper and my second half is doing is cleaning him up. I don't know. So we have to get him nice and cleaned up so that the children can hug or help. These are all good skills. Using your hand, which is eye-hand coordination, small and large motor skills, as well as muscular. See how nice he's just standing there? He loves his spa day. So he's just going to hang out here, and then she's going to take him in the ring and show you a little bit of how we try to train our horses. Again, this is the indoor arena. We do try to go outside, but it's so wet and muddy, it's not workable for us. Some of the on horseback, your teddy bear for the day. So we will have clothes out on different bears, and we give children a bear, and they dress them hot on. And scarves. So again, it helps children learn what they need in those seasons and the fun of just playing. We like to make it as fun for the kids as we can, but also safe. So we have volunteers that come and are trained, and they then get to work with the horses and the children. We get a good bond of family. We have excellent families, excellent volunteers. Everybody is very positive about what we do here because it's so important for anyone to feel needed, to feel like they can gain and to have friends. Here we have tons of friends. Unfortunately, with COVID, we've had to close to a lot of our children because it's too close contact to be around. And that's why I'm not having a mask on right now, is because I am at least 10 feet away from my helper, Morgan. So Morgan is pregnant. She's getting ready to have a baby. So I'm not going to ask her to do anything really hard. But just so you understand, again, this is our indoor arena. This is Sundance and Morgan. And I think to show you is how we try to make them attentive, how we know whether they are a good horse for the program or not. So I think probably she'll throw the lead over her shoulder. Do these horses know this ahead of time? Heavens no. We have to train them and teach them that all of this is part of training, because we want the children to be able to do all of the things themselves. We are there to help support them. See, she doesn't have her hands on him, but he's very attentive to what she's doing.
I love horses.
He's going to look out, but then look, he goes right back to her. So those are kinds of the things that we have to do in order to get a
screen is
horse
like
prepared
freezing.
for the program. Do I have any questions or any thoughts or? Yes, ma'am.
So we do have a few questions that have come in that we've gotten this week that we would like to ask you.
Okay. Wonderful.
First, I want to say
Okay.
before we do ask the questions that you guys have won multiple awards for your nonprofit program, haven't you?
We certainly have.
Which is fabulous.
It's been
Congratulations.
awesome.
One of which was
Thank
you were a
you. And-
top 10 finalist for the Hero of the Year award from CNN. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, we certainly were. And we were not chosen the top, but we got a lot of feedback from that, as well as other programs, because we are not the only one in the area that need help.
That is fabulous, Ms. Simon. And you have been there for over 25 years, am I correct?
28 years. Yeah.
20.
I was here from the beginning. A friend and I kind of got together and decided this is what he had retired from his job and was looking for something else to do in his life. I, of course, was just basically starting. And so we formed the Mighty Riders, and thank you. He loves you guys. And so I do the horse end and he does the office end.
Wonderful. One of our questions that our students wanted to know was how much schooling do you have to go through to become a therapeutic, horse and human caregiver?
Okay, so really 4 years of college is very important because you need all those basics to carry over. Even though I'm not sitting at a desk, I still have to calculate, use my math skills. I have to be able to read different types of disabilities and figure out what horse matches. So it takes a lot of school. And then you can also get certified through an organization called PATH. That is our mother, what would you call that? It's the place where we get all of our bylaws and all of the
Wonderful. I think you froze just a little bit. If you can hear me, another question our children had were about how many kids are in your program?
I think we're frozen.
Are you back, Miss Simon? Can you hear it? Can you hear me?
You're freezing too.
So we have close to 75 riders.
There we go,
Yes.
we're fixing it.
Okay, we moved up for the Wi-Fi. So we have about
I have a question. Freezing.
and they come for about an hour. Some classes are called independent. Yes, I'm telling them about how great you are. They come for 1 hour and we work with them in the ring on different goals that they have.
I think the connection went out. We have 75 riders on a normal basis.
Wonderful. Thank y'all so much for your time. It looks like we have run out of our time with you guys. We could have spent the whole day with you. It's so interesting and so fabulous. Thank you for your work with children. We appreciate you. We're gonna, if you students,
Thank
if you
you so
have,
much for having us. And
thank you. Students, if you
He
have
says
any more
bye.
questions, we can collect those and we can see if we can get those answered for you. So just send those to your teachers, okay?
So the forest is no trick. Bye, Adrian.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Simon. Have a wonderful day.
thank you. You too.
Bye.
Remember, friends, to log into your next speaker at 10:45 right now, okay? Log into your next speaker.
Thank you. Bye. Are we leaving? Well, I can't hear anyone.
To your next speaker, Michael.
Okay.
Follow the
Bye.
schedule. Bye.